Hello everyone and welcome to another match of the Providence Cup, this time from Group B between the great long names of Laptop and Bad Wifi and Roulette unprofessionals. 4 players are MattySpice and Redfox on the left hand side, Nezuko Chan and Jokerj on the right. And if I give the refresh to the first players here, then we should have 2 live players here before our first spin arrives in a minute and 5 seconds, which is going to be Ambrose Island. A 1v1 spin between MattySpice and Nezuko Chan. It will be followed by Redfox versus Rocky in the Isle of Sgáil, and then 2 maps of 2v2 action, Sapienza and Miami, to decide who gets the better share of these 8 points, which are all important in the group stage. Here is some sound. This is my first match since the major OBS update, so apologies in advance, but I am going to blame OBS heavily on everything. Player 2 may be hidden on both sides, and we are ready for the first spin in just 20 seconds. This is the first match for Bad Laptop and Bad Wifi on the, I think the 8th or the 9th day of the competition, but it's a long group stage, so obviously they can get away with not playing in the first weekend if they catch up in the final weekend. But this is the second match of Roulette unprofessionals. They are also hoping to get their first win after they played the opener and lost against the Geometry Dash refugees. First spin is here. Noel Crest, explosive weapon as pirate, and Aka, folding knife as a militia soldier. So obviously not you can't have big surprises when it comes to disguises. There are, I think, 7 of them, and that may or may not include the suit already. So it's either 7 altogether or 7 plus the suit. Pirate and soldier, 2 very mainline disguises as well, although a bit back and forth. So Matty, looking at the pirate spin and knowing that he can get one really quickly, with this Aka Peekaboo, decides to start Metalworker. But Nezuko going with the other approach and knows that an early militia soldier is possible, starting Central Social Hub. No Durian in action for Nezuko, but a Seeker will get him in a toilet, and then he's just a sort of finicky action of knocking out those 2 militia soldiers, but the hardest part. Matty with a restart after failing to get the Peekaboo first try. And now it is going to be the battle of different approaches, because this is actually as opposite as it can get. Nezuko looking to for the spot when he can start throwing the distraction for the militia soldiers. 2 of them. It's not the easiest target in the trilogy to isolate, but 2 is definitely fine to do so. And Matty cannot get this Peekaboo working. He does get the Peekaboo, but the chaos after it was the problem. To his credit, he did not practice Ambrose here. And this is... I was going to say that this is Roulette unprofessionals pick, but no, they picked the second and third map, if I'm not mistaken. No, they picked Ambrose and the last map. That's how it works. It's B-A-A-B. For those who are paying attention to the very elaborate ban pick order, but yeah, it's obviously not their pick, so they didn't really have this in mind, and I'm sure Redfox preferred to play Sgáil, so that's what we will see in the next map. So for now it's Nezuko on his own pick against MattySpice, who I think now got this isolation finished. And as pirate he can make his way down to Noel, who will be close to the pier area by now. Nezuko following the crest isolation. does a quicker version of the bomb delivery, but of course it takes more running to get there. Once he gets the detonator back, a couple of seconds after, he can get the secondary objective down. I suppose it's not the secondary objective because it's the third in line, so it would be a different term for that. But it is the not. It is not a kill, of course, just the objective. Nezuko, becoming the militia soldier, will now attempt to isolate Akka. Folding knife. As far as the folding knives go, I can only think of one, and it is in the cave. But there is a second one now that I'm realizing that this is where Nezuko is going. It is going to be next to the hippie, and it will be in the tree, which has the invitation for the hippie as well. I'm not sure. It's the job recruitment opportunity. Very specific intel item. Matty now 2.5 minutes into his run. Also did a bomb delivery. But cannot find a way to isolate Noel just yet, so might be going back for the durian or just a later emetic isolation. Emetics is the way for Noel most of the time. You might be looking at the meeting room, and consequently the meeting isolation that will be a bit later though. Nezuko with the second isolation though, definitely better progress on the right hand side. Akka is knocked out as well, and just the folding knife needed, and this is now where Nezuko is going to get to the hippie. Really not a problem to get that item. Matty though did a double KO on these NPCs, and that will turn into a third, of course, because this militia soldier is roaming, and I wouldn't be surprised if even he can be found. And this is why Matty is dragging him back a bit. Could even be safer to drag him all the way back to the hippie. But that will be both disguises for Matty and Nezuko now. Obviously, after both isolations are complete, Nezuko can get back into the militia soldier. And that's the kill on Akka, the first kill of the night. Matty ended up getting, oh, that's all 3 durians. Some damage in the process, but nothing 47 can't handle. And we are going to see that Akka kill on Matty's side as well. Nezuko very close now. First the C4 to detonate and get rid of the satellite, and then the breaching charge. Unless it's an insta body being found, then the 3 seconds should not be a problem. Nezuko pops. Crest falls a bit upward, but no one found him. And that's the first map completed by Nezuko. Already 6 minutes in real time. 6 minutes in game time and 7.5, less than 7.5 in real time. Very impressive start of this match by Nezuko Chan and the Roulette unprofessionals. Rocky complaining about the hit maps not working. Of course, he was giving assistance to Nezuko, and there was a little melee to look up. So some time was even lost there, but even then, it was a really impressive first try from Nezuko. Matty with the frontal kill, it doesn't seem to be heard. Gets the first kill down, but a bit too late. C4 is there. And just Noel's kill remaining, of course, far beyond the 30-second photo finish mark, but if Matty can finish this, I think that's still a very valiant effort there. It will take a bit longer though to get there, and I think in the meantime we will see the second message pop up and the second countdown to begin. Once Matty's attempt ends, just going to switch those player scenes. 13 past the hour. And we did plan with the co-caster for this one, and Jokerj is back. So he will join me really shortly now. I just need to give him the link and he's free to join. Just in time before the second map, which will happen at, saw it a second ago, 13 past the hour, so a bit more than 3 minutes from now. Yeah, Matty's in-game time would end up a bit higher than Nezuko is now 7.5 minutes in, but I wonder if this can be a viable isolation there with the breacher in the water, perhaps, at the end of the pier. Since Noah wouldn't really be found just yet. Some manipulations there. Jokerj is here now, welcome.
Hello, thank you for allowing me on now.
Yeah, welcome back to some roulette. Of course, you have had a busy afternoon and some extra work to do later on as well, but nice to see you.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoy it and happy to be here. And we've got a good map next in the form of Sgáil, of course.
Yeah, and that is one map where, I mean, even 2v2 is even more exciting because of the 4 people, at least one ought to rip. But I think for a 1v1, the plain old format with the teammate assistant, I think that should also be exciting. Here I am making the switches here. I think a Redfox refresh. Redfox. That is the correct link though.
Red P is life in E, so my because of Redfox 5000 YT.
Works for me as well. If I look into properties, he's live in Mumbai, so I told you told others that this would be the moment where I do start to blame heatmaps, OBS, apologies. That is funny because there is no URL to show you at the moment. Oh, how I love the OBS. Oh, because I'm messing with team 2 player 1. Well, hold on a second. Saved after 7 minutes. But we got the 2 working streams, and I'll try to make Chris's day happier by moving Rocky's stream right 1 pixel. That would be... Well, first things first, I do have the wrong link here still. Yeah. One last try. There you go. Sgáil versus Sgáil, and 10 seconds to spare. I think that is...
It's just in time. It's all good.
Not just a PB, but perhaps even a world record. You do have the link. It is your turn. Welcome again. What is the Sgáil spin?
We have Zoe Washington Katana as the guard, and Sophia Washington Shotgun is the chef. So very nice, the gal spin up there.
Katana is guard. A very centralized combination, unless the MOC lure would be winning, but suppose it's a seeker for Zoe. The katana is the room next door, and the guard is basically a stone's throw away from the bathroom, so that could be a really nice quick kill there. Redfox is starting as arc member, so it could be a quick Zoe regardless, and there is a guard really close even with the flash phone strat. Rocky taking a bit more time to load in. Actually, there was a replan there. I think that was just the preload before the spin went live, but now he's here and starting as a chef.
Yeah, I mean, we normally do see a chef start with chef spins, of course, and for this it does make sense that Sophia kill with a shotgun stash type of Borean would be very quick, of course, and there would be lots to deal with afterwards with the Zoe kill, you could argue.
Sophia being also a plain kill, but needs an agency pickup there. Rocky gets stuck with that door, and he'll go all the way up this pipe, probably just passing area, but none of the guards should look to this ladder. And Redfox in the box, not as he expected, and he will be also chest passing. He got a peekaboo, well now he has to be in the box to avoid getting caught. Moderate amount of setback there, while Rocky can definitely make first cycle radio there. And I think with the agency pickup at the Hyperborean showroom, it's a very likely course of action. He goes one floor beyond, he should be, yeah, he's going down now.
Oh, just a little bit of a head turn there for one of the chefs on Redfox's end, and it just gets a quick glimmer of him swapping the disguise, and that we reload from Redfox here, giving Rocky a nice minute 20 lead here.
Yeah, and it will turn into 1 kill lead as well, as the time difference grows by the second, because it's not something that Rocky can really make wrong here. He won't risk going to the agency pickup, which is really close here, but he just wants to get that radio lure and the Sophia KO for the first kill. Redfox replan here, no arc member anymore, but the architect, and gets a much quicker Sophia ISO there, which also opens up a wide array of Zoe kills. There's the radio on Rocky's side, and just suppose it will be a subdue if he doesn't have an item, but subdue or KO doesn't matter. Sophia is down, and the kill should follow in 30 seconds.
I mean, he had enough time to go and get the shotgun from his stash, of course. I mean, it's just adding a bit of time here, but he does have a nice lead to play around with, so nothing wrong with this at the moment.
Nice and safe, and not even chest passing, so cannot or shouldn't worry about peekaboos either. Redfox will look at some lures there. He wanted to catch Zoe's attention, but guard is going inside for another lure. Disguise is acquired, and I think Zoe was delayed enough so that some flash phone strats could work. I think that was a... Okay, so that wasn't part of the lure, but once Zoe entered this corridor, she was the one investigating it. It's a nice seekerless approach.
Lovely, lovely strat there from Redfox. The phone is not something we see used a lot anymore, especially on Sgáil. With it, we just usually see the massive gas grenade be used more often. But it's nice to see that phone work as intended there.
Redfox importantly didn't take care of the elite guard, and he will enter this room eventually, but the katana being so close, he can just about get the kill and hide her, and that should be the opposite kill down compared to Rocky, who is now 4 minutes in and setting up Zoe.
Yeah, for sure, Redfox on the back foot, but all he needs is the chef disguise, of course. All he has Sapienza easy to get to position as the chef, shotgun in his briefcase. So not much to it, not much for Redfox to do it, but did rip on the chef grab last time, so will be a point of improvement for him now, and how he grabs it might change ever so slightly to combat the fact they did rip last time to this.
Rocky with... Oh boy, lots of things can happen for Rocky, but realizes that he has the Matic device. He started with the Seeker. He wanted to get a really risky shot in the public area, which missed, but in the last second he realized that, or he changed his mind and wanted to use the Matic device, but I don't see Zoe joining and getting closer. Now she's walking back. That is big for Rocky. Oh, and both teams could be really close to finishing now.
Would favour Red. What do you mean? It's hard to favour who? Because Rocky, of course, will have the exit of the helicopter, but he'll be in a trespass in disguise out there, so he might have to grab the elite guard first. Of course, gonna have a bit of time here hiding Zoe's body, but Redfox now with his own final kill off, and will have to run to an exit, and again, that's a bit far away from him.
And Redfox, I think he will go for the west side edge of the map, which is at the top of that pipe, and then exit in 15 seconds, and Rocky chest passing and changes his mind. He could have been the first to exit, but going back will be the decisive moment here. It's really quick. A quick backup with the snail, but will it be quick enough? Redfox will be the first to finish and has more restarts, but he's the placey player against the console of Rocky. I don't know what generation he's on.
Old gen as well, so we'll have a bit of chance left up here, as he will approach helicopter exit this time in a non-trespassing disguise, and all you think was one bullet distraction or a bullet panic onto someone, and he would have been home and in the lead for the win there, but will force fair finish, just whether the gap's big enough for him to catch up. Or of course, Redfox didn't restart once. I don't think we did see a restart from Rocky. So yeah.
Yeah, Chris X3 gets another photo finish after a very eventful end of RR9. This will be 2 restarts or 2 loading screens of Redfox against probably just 1 for Rocky, but the console PC difference means that if this is anything more than 10 seconds, anything less than 10 seconds, then it's anyone's game. But it wasn't the closest finish as well, and 14 seconds is the lead for Redfox. This is the territory which is hard to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if Redfox's lead is kept, especially because he had another restart there.
Yeah, we've seen the extreme lengths of some loads, and if Rocky didn't preload there, then it could be potentially what a 30-second load easily for Rocky here. So it'll be a bit interesting here. Thankfully, not many loads to count, so it won't be waiting a long time here.
Yeah, pretty sure it's 3 amount of seconds to calculate. Increases a quick photo finish calculator. Definitely been a couple of times before when it's no restart versus no restart, and by the time someone waved, Chris already had the results regardless, so I'm sure Chris will let us know what happened fairly shortly. Big moment here as well. Of course, if the score is close enough, then you might see 1 point added to both sides, but realistically, it's one of the teams will get 2 more points. This is one of the groups with just slightly fewer matches played. 2 matches from the Geometry Dash refugees, taking 7 out of 8 maps in the process. As I said before, this is Bad Laptop's first match, and the Roulette unprofessionals second, after taking 1 map against the refugees last time as the opener a week ago.
Yeah, I'm sure they want as many points they can get at this moment, especially considering, look at Geometry Draft refugees, and you think, well, they've always won the group or definitely qualified for sure. And it's these final games, especially for the real professionals, they go want as many points against the teams that didn't win against the Georgia refugees, and I'm sure as many points they can get today will be the best for them in the grand scheme of things here.
Yeah, this is a group of 4. Everyone plays everyone once, and the Geometry refugees in a very good spot after 2 matches for them. So it's likely that they will not only advance, but first place will be secured, and especially these matches will be important against the other 3 teams, because one of them will score second. And really curious to see who does best, and whoever wins this match will have a great claim for that second place.
Even if bad laptop and bad Wi-Fi don't get many points. I mean, it's only their first game. It's not the end of the world. They still have to play out Geometry refugees, where it's the other 2 teams where you favour yourself against, especially, and you want more points against these, because when you come against them, when you come against Mika and Rune, things are gonna get a bit shaky, and they're gonna be hard to take points off.
Yeah, well said. It will be the toughest match for everyone, and that match is only left for Bad Laptop. Other 2 are through probably their hardest match. But this one is definitely looking very close, and Redfox is already looking at the Miami loading screen. That is the 4th map, so we will need some clarification there that the 3rd and 4th map are both 2v2. Redfox will also play Sapienza.
Redfox has actually done the Sapienza spin already, so
yeah, good for them, and I just unfortunate that we didn't see it, because then we don't have anything to go from. Let's get some ads in the meantime. I've usually been very lucky with this one, and just refresh doesn't do much, just reduces the buffer time. Yeah, both players from Bad Laptop are looking at Miami next, and there was some confusion about the order. They said the picks and the bans in the wrong order. Basically, Team A and B were switched up. So
that's the most MattySpice and Redfox thing I've heard all day. They're forgetting the order of who bans first. Nah.
We would probably put equal responsibility on the 2 teams, but we worked it out, and we will go to Sapienza next after this official confirmation by Chris. If you want to read it out, Joker.
I mean, yeah, Redfox loaded 3 times for 24 seconds. Rocky only loaded the 1 time for 17 seconds. Thereby, Redfox increasing the lead to 21 seconds, winning Sgáil for bad laptops and bad Wi-Fi time the game 2 to all.
See, I don't remember who was the bad laptop and who was the bad Wi-Fi, but I suppose we underestimated the loading time Redfox would have, and actually he had another restart there. So from 3 loads, it makes sense that he loaded in for longer than Rocky.
I think Matty's bad laptop because he's gone off to college, and I would assume Redfox, because of that, is then bad Wi-Fi. But they could both be bad laptop, both be bad Wi-Fi.
Could be. I hope we won't see it in action with buffering and going offline, but of course we will see a lot more maps from these 2, and well, 2 more today. And after the ping, they are aware that it's Sapienza next at 30 past the hour, which will be the first 2v2. Still 1 spin, still 1 link. As we said, it's 1 link for the whole tournament. Probably there will be a second map for the second link for the group, for the knockout stage, sorry. Because of course, when we get to the quarterfinals onward, there will be 2 spins to complete.
Yeah, it's good to see all 3 formats almost of Team Roulette coming into play, and it just definitely makes for exciting games now, especially now moving on to the 2v2 element of it. It's definitely gonna make this a lot more interesting, of course.
Yeah, this is probably the more exciting part of the group stage, but we weren't confident to just pick one format and go with it for 4.5 weeks. That's probably a bit of a stretch and could get boring. But for 2 maps for 1v1 and 2 maps for 2v2 might be some variety, as we have these guaranteed 1 hour matches. Chris X3 getting another fire spin there.
Of course, there's no way to do fire on Sapienza, of course, in this. The Molotov is banned and all that, so it's only the fires that were legal before the Molotov allowed, and of course, Sapienza is one of the maps where fire is never an option, sadly. So you won't see fire in these spins.
Yeah, of course the underlying thought was that no one should be forced to get a Master 20 item. Of course, in reality, if you look at the 28 players, a vast majority of them, if not everyone, had the Molotov anyway, but it's just the thought that to enter a roulette tournament, it's already, as a rookie, just to enter something for the first time, you would need a high amount of not just map knowledge and practice, but loadout grind for several items, and the fire is definitely the toughest since there is no way to get a second fire kill on most of these targets. 15 seconds until the third spin. The first 2v2 Sapienza is well, I wanted to say something nice about this one. Yeah, it's 3 maps from 3 different seasons, and this will be the season 1 map. The spin is here now. Silvio Cruz's circumcision knife as mentioned stuff. Francesca De Santis sniper rifle as the Bohemian.
I like this spin. I think it's a very nice spin, of course. You'll see or expect to see a tower start for an early Bohemian grab, and of course, circumcision knife is in the observatory, where we typically see Silvio isolated. The managed staff could be a bit out of the way compared to the targets, but it's not that bad, really. So not much of a challenge in spin itself, really.
It is probably one of the more straightforward ones. The tougher disguise is for Francesca, so people might as well get that first and the Francesca kill at 2.5 minutes. Silva Cruzo, quick isolation after the first kill, circumcision knife really close to him, and a couple mentioned stuffs to get. I think the quickest one is the one that is not free in the first place, so that will be a nice risk versus reward type of thing to see at the 3.5 minute mark. And we're in. And I was going to say it might be quadruple tower start, but it's 2 tower, 1 main, and one safe house. That was very unexpected. So I'm curious what Matty and Rocky are planning here. I think Rocky is infiltrating the tower from below, as if it was the closest start to it.
I mean, you've already seen the tower start, so like just forgetting about it is actually really understandable. Might have some issues grabbing the Bohemian, still getting to train first cycle, but shouldn't be much of an issues anyways.
A bit more of a timer issue for Rocky, but 35 seconds in. Could still make it. Matty though with an entirely different strat, and after quick restart he's still set on quicker ISOs here, and probably a quick mention staff kill. Francesca Sniper Bohemian, that's quite close to the Sasu speedrun. It's never a fire kill for her, but the sniper is used in those kills. So I'm curious if some angles are being thought of from the tower. But all in all, it's a lot of early restarts with only Nezuko gaining game time lead. 1.5 minutes now. Picks up the circumcision knife, that is correct. Just not for the right target, but briefcase in hand, sniper rifle no doubt, and it will be the first kill in 45 seconds.
Yeah, very good start here for sure. It's weird seeing MattySpice fanning without the Bohemian. But I mean, if he feels like he has an angle where he can leave Francesca perhaps and still snipe her from here, then go for it. I mean, I don't complain if we can see that, but Rocky will restart now. It doesn't really matter what Nezuko does. He will still be waiting for Rocky if he finishes.
Yeah, that's the big dynamic of the 2v2 maps. Nezuko now knows that he's 2 minutes ahead of his own teammates, so can even slow the strats down. Not much he can do with Francesca. Still has to kill her in 10 or so seconds, but see how it goes, and Matty definitely with the KO on Francesca, and no angles, dragging her all the way to the bathroom. Redfox a minute 10 in as the Bohemian. He's perfectly set up for Francesca as well. And Rocky, after trying to get to the tower, decides to also go mansion route. So we have two players with the first cycle-friendly kill in mind and two who won't get her at 2.5 minutes. Nezuko looking to get the, I think that's the mansion staff. Of course, it's a mansion staff and a housekeeper, but he got the right person. Still no Silvio isolation. But he did trigger the long proxy conversation, so might actually see a live kill from Nezuko. A Rocky restart there with green guns. I think he's just not familiar with this strat and goes for a replan main square tower. He was hovering over it.
He's teasing us a little bit.
Back to safe house.
Safe house, yeah. Yeah, I don't know the thought process behind it. I mean, if you're not comfortable with it, you might not go for here. Of course, we do see Redfox now with that Francesca kill. Sniper is silent enough so it's not heard by the guard in the corner over there, and nice safe box off there, and it will be Redfox going for Silvio next.
Redfox will be catching up on Nezuko in some way, but of course Nezuko knows that Rocky did reap.
Yeah. This is going to be a bit. You have to be a bit careful with Nezuko with this. These guards have a mind of their own sometimes, and we'll have to be careful with their head turns, their stoppages, what they do, how quick they move. And yeah, we'll have lots of gun flash as well. That's not going to help his favour at all. And we'll be combat from Nezuko. And the restart. Look
Big restart for Nezuko, and I think the fact that he really wanted to be safe, he had the opportunity to isolate Silvio downstairs, but he just wanted to shoot the panel instead and get him upstairs is what became his demise. So now it is Redfox and Matty 1 kill each, and both of the unprofessionals in a long loading scene.
Thankfully, Rocky's opted for the main tower start now, so we'll be able to level up with Nezuko almost, and Nezuko can guide him through it really.
Yeah, it will be synchronized action for them. A bit of a detour already, but it's just a very simple first steps to take with getting the Bohemian and deleting the evidence. Nezuko will take a bit of a lead, but it's probably not as bad as they will keep teaching each other, and that is orange from behind. Another Rocky restart. Redfox is just one sniper shot away from being the first finisher, and he gets it as well as the drop. So he will be the first finisher. Matty will now infiltrate the tower and still needs a few minutes for sure to exit, but definitely looking much better than Nezuko and Rocky at the beginning of their runs.
Yeah, Matty still a lot of running. He has to get the Bohemian, of course, has to take out cameras and still run back to the mansion as well, go all the way up to Franny, then come all the way down to the Riders, so still lots of time for Matty here. Missing the doors as well. That ain't going to help his situation a little bit here.
Yeah, and this part of the run, the Bohemian can be anywhere, but luckily, same position as the beginning of the run. KO from behind, and the second disguise acquired. Now I think Matty only KO'd one of Francesca's guards, and we still didn't see a picture-in-picture Of course, we could have missed it. Will be a interesting point for the remainder of the spin. Will anyone be found around there? If so, when?
Yeah, this run, leaving Franny out, leaving that guy out, it's going to feel like an eternity for Matty here. That's the one thing you don't want is Franny, or even her guard being found. Because if her guard gets found, the chance of Franny being found goes through the roof. And you're very lucky if you come out with green guns there. So, interesting from Matty here. I'm guessing less is sniped by Franny as well, but this is always why you want to try and get that Franny kill first. Just leaving her knocked out is so dangerous sometimes that, you know, just getting that kill down first is always the best option on Sappy.
Absolutely, the risk is really there. Especially as the in-game time seconds count up to 7 minutes and it will be a 9-ish minutes run, although it's mostly running remaining for Matty. Still very interesting to see if they can take the win here. Nezuko with nice progress and ultimately the same strat of catching Silvio upstairs. Dropping the sniper though, that was the major difference which got him compromised. Still Wush's potential, and that is not a knockout item, so you have to be careful there. Just like last time, Nezuko waits as long as he can so that he has the best chance of KOing from behind, but that still won't be a silent attack, that is going to be a subdue, and that turns the guard around for another restart from Nezuko. That was the one difference. It's not a silent knockout, and if it were, then of course the isolation would have finished. Matty did get the kill. I missed if Franny was hidden or not, but most likely was. She most likely was. And then it's just the virus remaining for Bad Laptop and Bad Wi-Fi to turn this match around from losing the first map to winning their own 2 map picks. Still not a non-deal though.
Yeah, just with the Rise now, and it's straightforward from here. Boxing the screen, taking it to Sgáil, so taking it even safer here, even though no EMP, so it's gonna be interesting. Well, with Redfox in his ear, you can always have the possibility that he'll shoot the stats, shoot the Rise directly. Oh, and does it first time. Another shot there from Matty. I thought he was gonna drop down at first, but I'm sure Redfox was in his ear, shouting at him to do a shot, and it does pay off there. Saves lots of times, but fortunately for him, the Roulette unprofessionals just haven't been able to get going really past Silvio for Nezuko, past the 1 minute mark really for Rocky, and yeah, more points for Bad Laptop and Bad Wi-Fi here.
The absolute trickery from MattySpice, tricking us into thinking that it will be a safe finish to the run and perhaps even a stalactite shot, and then he just shoots the virus itself and he gets its first try. Spectacular finish from Bad Laptop and Bad Wi-Fi.
Showing off, and love it.
Yeah, of course they didn't know that they could afford it. Well, of course, 9 minutes and 47 seconds into the run. It's always a risky shot to make.
One shot doesn't do much harm, but I mean, one shot turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into the whole magazine, really, doesn't it? So
it is an addiction.
Oh, so close to that shot. Oh, it's closer again. I'll do it again. Realistically, just getting further and further away each time.
Yeah, frustration as well, but he didn't get there, and we will have this map finished. Of course, the spin wasn't cleared yet, nor the score applied, so once Chris does it, of course, the other team will be notified of what went down, and what the score will be, which is 4-2 for Bad Laptop and Bad Wi-Fi. So of course you can see the Chris message here in chat that this guy is in a match and ignores my DMs, and I think that refers to Redfox, who does show the 5-star essay now, and that was the one last thing that Chris was waiting for. I suppose there is the score change now, so that was most likely it.
Yeah, sure. Miami, our next map as well. It's going from nice map to nice map. Really, Sapienza and Miami, just nice, well-known maps. It's like the maps that everyone likes. Not many people hate Sapienza and Miami, really. So, nice map pool here, really. Especially the Sgáil and what's the first map?
Ambrose Island, which may not fit
Ambrose
into the
Island.
same narrative, but
I mean, quite dark maps followed up by good, nice sunny maps. So, I mean,
yeah, you're just missing a Haven, which would be, I guess, 2-in-1, with the sunshine turning into the storm, but that will be for some other time. Actually, not for today or tomorrow, since there is no Haven scheduled for the next 2 days.
have we seen a Haven yet this entire tournament?
We've had one, CX Dunk versus Xbox Master Race,
That's a good start.
a week ago. It's third match of the tournament. It's a frequent ban. I think the most frequent ban so far has been Colorado. I can see it in this sheet. It's every single match so far, except for, well, okay, it's an exaggeration, but more than half the matches have Colorado banned, which is, I think it's a unsurprising trend, and especially for Team Roulette, it can be daunting to take on it.
Yeah. Especially because, like, usually Colorado, it's just you that rips, but you've got two people there to rip on the map that I'd say has the most rip opportunities more than all the others, really. So, yeah, it would make sense to why, especially for that 2v2 style. It depends, where do we see it banned? Do we see it banned at the start for like the 1v1s as well, or do we see it banned after that, just for safety not being able to play it in the 2v2s?
Yeah, I can tell you quickly, just looking at it, it's mostly before the 2v2s, so there is a chance to get it picked for for the 2v2s, but or the 1v1, sorry, but it hasn't happened so far a lot. Although we are the exception, Observer and I, because we did have it twice in our 3 matches, so there are always exceptions. Happy ending for Nezuko. He did get Sapienza finished, but doesn't change the scoreline, of course. Very even match so far, and we are going back to the unprofessional speak. The other 3 maps were taken by the team who picked them, so if we see it one last time in Miami, which I think in general is a close map either way, they can have the second tied result of the tournament. And that would open this group even more so than it is currently. While a 6-2 win for Bad Laptop and Bad Wi-Fi on their first match, with 2 more to go, could be really strong in trying to secure second place, or even better, who knows if Matty and Redfox can beat or even sweep the Geometry Refugees. That will be a matter for, I think, next weekend, as I have heard that the availability of these Americans on the left-hand side are mostly weekends, but that is for another time. For now, it is the last spin of the match, Joker.
Yeah, and it'll be Sierra Knox, Fire Axis, the security, and Robert Knox, Sniper, Kronstadt, Mechanic. Please shoot Robert from across the map. I beg. That's all I want to see. We've got Robert Sniper. Rocky. If Rocky just pulls us out the bag, I'll love him for it. All I want to see is someone do it. See Rune do it in RR9. But especially with these disguises on this side of the map, it saves so much time.
It makes so much
And
sense.
oh,
Everyone is practiced it. And Redfox is going with the tactical, of course with the body shot in mind. That Strat needs a body shot.
I think Redfox has us in the back of his head here.
He's definitely... This is his defining moment, these spins and these strats, so I can't see him not try this. Rest of the loadout seems sensible. Small gold bar, but that's just a Redfox thing. I don't think it's really needed for anything here. And we will see. I think we are seeing 3 ghosts, so that will be straightforward, Robert, but Redfox is the center of the attention here.
It was just have a new source just for Redfox's stream only.
Especially after, not going to say his first video in a while, but I think the first roulette related video, and he just did a daily spin in Hokkaido, and well, I mean, it's sight to see.
As the motorcyclist, yeah, it was definitely not something you see often, really, but I mean, it's good to see Redfox do all this stuff, man. He's always known for really all this improv and extremes, like that people in a game that people could probably do, but in a game and they're not prepared to do it.
Yeah, it's always different in matches, and Redfox will try it in matches with various success. That is something that to be said, but
so crash out Moses here. Ooh, interessante.
That delays Sierra by a cycle, by a lap. Usually only used for Moses spins, where you want to get the disguise before she's out. It will be a crash out still.
Be a bit careful as well. I mean, you can get spotted by the main mechanic, the grace winner of this establishment. But yeah, I guess that's out right and fine there. I mean, where I'm trying to think what benefit you get out of doing this, really.
He's going all the way to get the fire axe and the security from the same place, to this security hub, and that probably gives him enough time to get the peekaboo a lap later. Because I guess that's the part that you have to also count for in this chat, the extra trip, which is now cut back because he's transporting the axe in a disguise which allows it.
Yeah, but you have to get the cross-stab mechanic disguise anyways, don't you? So it's a weird one. Of course, you have the event security outside the garages as well, which May's already dealt with. So weird one here. Sierra's out of her car, so he would have missed the peekaboo, but I'm not counting him out yet. There's always some random shit that Redfox just does, and sometimes works, sometimes, or most of the time doesn't. So we'll see what he's got here. Of course, Sierra's won the race, so won't go to her paddock either, but is able just to peekaboo her back into her own team garage here. Might be able to get the kill off here.
And
that's lovely from Redfox.
That's such a Redfox thing as well, to just use the pistol as a lure. Of course, most well known in Bangkok and Santa Fortuna. Gets a subdue. This can still be a frontal kill, and the subdue was hurt, so needs to drop the gold bar. I think Redfox didn't even expect the peekaboo to furk and to see her to stop, because the gold bar was in his hand. Gets the kill now, and no one else reacting to it.
That was beautiful.
Well.
That is great. Of course, there will be constant mechanics down here as well, so really nice from Redfox here.
Just a mirror to dodge. I'm not sure about that mirror, but got away with it this time, and yeah, Redfox just one snipe away, and he has the tactical.
Come on. That's all I want to see. I don't care how long it takes, just please. I want to see Robert kills from across the map. Of course, it's a bit of a longer run to the main exit, but I think it's worth it, really.
If there is a spin, which which favors if there's ever a spin for which it's just so much better, and I think it's probably this one. We have to wait and see. We'll go through this public area and the crowd enforcers to get back up to that stair maybe. Redfox bit detouring from the top of those stairs. I think he could still return, but now he's back in the main area.
You still cut through the IPX and entrance. That's always a possible. No.
Wishful thinking, and this is one more angle to shoot from, but he's also going past that.
Trying to make it as better as we can here. We're just trying to. But no, you should do it the boring way.
Yeah.
Redfox does stuff the boring way. How contradiction of Redfox.
After such a crazy Sierra kill, and which did put him in the lead, 422 for him, so he was the one who loaded in later than Nezuko, but we can see now the real-time difference is there. With Rocky still the kill to go and Matty after one restart, so for now it is the unprofessionals in the lead, but Redfox has the individual lead.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if Matty was close to finishing, would he have done it? That's my question, just because, you know, he knows that Matty is far away from finishing. He can do the safer, slower Stra here.
Yeah, that's a good question. And if Redfox did change up his approach, and I just because he knows that Matty is behind and Redfox can take it safer, then that's a very smart approach for this team event. But now Rocky with a restart at 5 minutes in. That's
not what you want. It gives Matty the lead here, really, and if he wants to rip there, him and Nezuko were really close to finishing and taking it.
Oh, Redfox.
A bit of bother as well, and there will be a restart here for Redfox at the moment.
Not over till it's over, but when I started saying that now it's orange, it is the boring way, which causes him to restart. Keep the contradictions going, because that is a heartbreak. Synchronized restarts there, well, at least the loading screens finish at the same time, which means Nezuko will be the first finisher if this ISO goes well.
If Redfox rises now that he's ripped and he's in a bit of dangerous territory, you might see him now go with the quickest strat, just to not waste any time, really. I mean, I'm just trying to keep my hopes up at this point. That's all, man. I'm making sure. Just try and help.
Nezuko's run also ends with the Robert ISO, with the Kronstadt security cross bodyguard, seeing Robert being shot, or well, it's the body after it's being shot, but it's not working out for this very straightforward Robert kill. And of course, if it is straightforward, you know the spin is quick, and it wants to make you go as quick as possible, and I think Nezuko and Redfox just went a bit too quick in this first try. So Matty with a sizable lead here, with a straightforward peekaboo approach, 4:15 into his run, and he gets the first kill. By then Redfox was near the VIP entrance and getting closer to the laptop, so it's a... So I think it did make a difference to optimize it that way with delaying Sierra, but in a way to get the security and the fireworks at the same time. Enforcer to dodge for Matty, but also for Redfox. Kind of synchronized approaches, but different part of the run. And it will be now Matty's attempt to get this straightforward finish to Miami.
Redfox getting this incredible little neat kill off onto Sierra again. It's just so nice, this bit of shot. The fact that, I mean, this wouldn't work for any other pistol other than the standard Sierra, of course. Will do the kill live this time. Might be heard by Grace Minute, but should be fine this time.
Minimap looks fine. No one turned white, so Redfox 245 in. Oh, that's a question mark. And Mechanic was about to turn around, but luckily he didn't. And yeah, this is the point of no return for Redfox, because he can stay close to the VIP building, which will make most people.
Going through the changing rooms. Yes, hopefully. I suppose a knife left turn at the top of the stairs, so it'll be all good.
He did look left and went straight.
Second this way. This way is definitely quicker to the stairs, however, so it's all good. Yes.
There you have it.
Oh, this gonna be great. I might have to watch out for the female journalist here, but should be fine. Just tuck himself up here, shoots the laptop to start. Robert not just getting over. Of course, all it needs is a triple shot into the window to lock down Robert and panic his guard. And a body shot into Robert will give you enough time for his guard to move out the way, and then and start chasing after 47. Of course, that's what the triple shot does. Leaving Robert just knocked over on the ground with no guards around him in a nice, comfortable place to shoot. Of course, you're so far away, but Matty does now. 7 minutes in, gets the Robert kill off, and we'll be finishing. So Redfox here, close-ish to an exit. I mean, it's a bit hard to execute, but if with enough practice, it's pretty simple.
Or with good improvisation skills like Redfox does. Robert is in position. Two shots and 3.
Yeah, he let his guy go a bit far, which could be the issue here. You usually want to get it as soon as Robert opens the door and comes out of it. Gets the kill off, and his guard doesn't see Robert at the moment. And yeah, green gun still in the mechanic disguise, which is lovely to go through here. Nearing an exit, Redfox with what I've been waiting for so long, and Roulette does put it off, runs to the exit with green guns, and looking to be with another rocky restart. Bad laptop and bad Wi-Fi. Take Miami and the final 2 points.
Scary till the end, since we did not see that guard leave the area, but of course that is what the triple shot will do after a while, and there was no last turnaround from that guard, and Robert was completely left isolated, and we did get the cross maps snipe for for the win nonetheless. What better way to finish this match? It did feel a bit sketchy as with how far the guard has went in and how close Robert was there. But no 180 and nothing like that. And Robert's body was not found until the end. So there's the 6-2.
Yeah, I'm sure Redfox's heart would have been in his mouth there. Just seeing Robert's guard and not move. You're normally safe, but when there's a possibility to get red guns in Hitman, that thing could then give you red guns quite easily. You know, even if it's a slim chance, it feels like, even if it's like a 5% chance that happens, it feels like it happens 95% of the time. You know, but it is rewarding. Yes, it off.
Yeah, it's such a crazy way to finish. I'm not sure if Redfox is a nervous person even, but I think if in a team roulette, if you are the second person to finish last map, you probably feel a bit of nerves. But was still very nicely done there. GG's to Bad Laptop and Bad Wifi by taking the win, and Roulette unprofessionals taking another map. So it's not sweeps. Definitely keep them alive in the competition. So for that, let's check out the brackets. And first I will show the updated Group B. Final. Oh, there is the updated Group B. There we go. The Geometry Dash Refugees still on top with 2 matches played, 2 wins and only 1 map dropped, so that's 14 points.
Is that guaranteed qualification for them now?
We do have to run the numbers here because 3 matches to go. Humidify.
Of course, Bad Laptop and MattySpice have to play each other, so either of them will drop points, and they've got a nice enough lead there where you would think that they're guaranteed to come out. There's no. I'm trying to do it in my head here. I don't think there's actually any way for them to not come third.
If
They get a guaranteed second or first.
this is a nice challenge for live math, but if Gamidifier, Romel already scolded me for using the wrong name. If Gamidifier wins both their last matches in a sweep, that's 16 points. If Bad Laptop sweeps Geometry Dash, then they also get 14 and GD gets 14. And I don't know the first tiebreaker. I think it's head-to-head. So then Bad Laptop would overtake Geometry Dash, but it's one map that is the refugees need.
We're talking really high numbers, and the fact that the fact that Geometry Dash will get swept
It
is one of the
is.
few things that happens. It looks highly unlikely, but I mean, you can't count out. It's not doable, and they're not through yet. But
Yeah.
I'm sure they're in a nice position.
Yeah, let's just hope that the hurricane pass, because two players from here are affected, Matty and Mika. I think it's the same hurricane even. So we might not see a lot of matches for the next couple of days from this group, but it will be fireworks for the final week. One more confirmation of what we have in the other groups as well. The two-time RR champions are on top with 14 out of 16 points scored. Just those two draws on either side. The Improv Royalty will take their first match tomorrow. And also, I just realized that we will have another match here, and I will admin that one, so won't take this long. And yeah, other two groups can be seen here. Lots of progress in C and D as well, and one more week until we have the group stage finished. And it is scheduled for 5 minutes ago now, but of course I think all four of them will excuse us for a bit of delay, but the Boreal Forest will play the CX Punk MK3, apologies, I can't speak anymore, very shortly, so I think it's 5 to 15 minutes, and it will be cast by Jokerj, so I will switch scenes and raid you very soon, and I will get ready to admin that one. That's perfect to hear. And then 3 matches for Sunday, but we will hear about those in detail later on. Thanks, Joker, for joining me again.
Anytime. Sorry I was late, but it's all good in the end.
Yeah, we caught the best parts as well. Thank you, Chris, for adminning, and good luck on your upcoming match. GG's every player, and thank you all for watching. See you guys for the next match.